In 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, everybody? Today, our special guest is the Italian Stallion from the south of Italy. Please welcome Leonardo. How are you, Leonardo?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you. I know it's not the best introduction, but let me introduce you now professionally, a part of being Italian Stallion. Leonardo is a real estate agent in Brisbane. He specializes in luxury real estate in Brisbane. He's the #1 in Australia in Remax, and he got the first spot. He won in marketing in Australia in 2018 and 2019 until he got to the point that, well, my marketing is on point. I'm going to start my own business, which he funded now. Black box marketing advertising. Is that correct, Leo?
Yeah, so thank you so much for the introduction. And yes, I was #1 in Australia for May 20 in 2020, and then before I switched to Place, which is Place Kangaroo Point, and Place is a very well-known brand here in Brisbane.
Nice. Okay. Mate, just to get started, just a quick biography. So you're born and bred in the south of Italy, is that right?
Born and bred in the south of Italy, near Bari, in Turi. Then I moved around in Italy doing various jobs, and then we landed in Australia.
Yeah. And why did you choose to move here initially?
Choose to move here because of my wife, and we decided to. I didn't even know quite well what Australia could have been or would have been, but then with time, I started to realize that this could have been a good place to call home.
Nice. Okay. You met your wife in Italy, or you met your wife over there? Or
so I met her when I was on tour with my band in Europe. So we met over there, and then after a while we decided to take it to the next level of it, and that's pretty much it.
Did you say band?
Yeah, so I was the lead singer of a punk rock band, grunge, and
I love it.
I was lucky enough that our songs and music were written in English, so we had the chance to tour Europe, and you can actually find us on Spotify and iTunes.
I love it. What's the name of the song? We're gonna check it out.
So you can actually look at I'm Trying from Easter Before Christmas.
I'm Trying. That's amazing. I didn't know about that. That's amazing. Okay, and why you choose to move as a profession from a singer to real estate?
So in Italy, I was doing lots of different things, but one of the things that I was doing was I was working in logistics. I was working as I was doing different jobs, but then I needed a little bit of a change, and that's when the passion kicked in to travel again, and so I decided to come to Australia. And that's where we started to do 1,000 different jobs, selling coffee, selling coffee machines, and then that led to then sell. My wife said to me, "You should be in real estate." I was like, "Yeah, maybe I should."
Hey, guide me through the initial start into the game of real estate. How did you how was at the start?
So basically, when I started to in a coffee shop, there's always this mythical situation where a client came in and said to me, "Hi, I like the coffee machine. Is it for sale?" And it wasn't for sale, but I said yes. So, and I said to him, "How much would you sell it? How much would you give me?" And he said to me, "Would $5,000 be enough?" And then I went back to the owner, and the owner said to me, "Well, Leo, I don't know if I want to sell it, but if he gives you $1,000, I'll sell it." So I went back and I said to the guys, "Well, the owner said to me, maybe we can do a deal, but it has to be straight away." Anyway, I didn't believe it until the day after he showed up and he actually offered like and paid $5,000. I went back to the owner and said, "Hey." So and he said to me, "So what? He didn't want it." I was like, "No, no, no. He bought it." And he said to me, "How much?" And I said to him, $5,000. And he said to me, "Okay, give me the $1,000 that I ask you, and you can keep the rest." And that was like a nice
Yeah,
gesture. It was a nice gesture. Honesty and appreciation went along. In the end of the day, I ended up giving him 2,500 because I
yeah,
didn't feel like it was fair.
not a lot of work.
But then from that moment on, like we started a good relationship. And then I started to sell. He said to me, "Hey, let me know if anybody wants to buy the shop." And 1, 2, 3, I had someone that could have been interested. And then, this conversation led to another one. And then, I started to look for a job in real estate, basically.
Wow. Okay. So now you focus on luxury. Now, but before you moved into luxury, did you do something else specifically into the real estate game?
So I started my real estate career in a little bit of a upwards. Basically, I started to sell DA and BA approved sites, which is
Yeah.
all the sites that get to the project that are approved by the council here in Australia.
Yeah.
So I started to have this conversation with developers and with different kind of numbers. Then after that, I had the feeling and the urge to understand the Australian market, so the Australians and how people do transactions over here. So I left and I went to work from Remax to McGrath.
Yeah.
And then, the first year, I started to sell a lot of houses, and I took that opportunity to then keep moving in my career to the point. And then, some of the developers had high-end houses, high-end projects, and that's where I started to really flourish and really start to have a good grasp of what this job is all about.
Yeah. What's the main challenges you went through in order for you to get where you are at the moment?
One of the first steps and hurdles to get over was the fact that you have no connections. Basically, you come here as a newcomer and you have to create your own world. And, you make a lot of missteps. You make a lot of, you think that, you start with a disadvantage, but actually that is an advantage for you. Because then it would have made me. So one of the first things that I started to do is I started to ask all my colleagues if they needed me for the open homes. In those open homes, I would start to meet people. I would start to talk to everybody, and that's exactly how I got my first project. 3 4-bedroom apartments, just because actually 4-bedroom apartments that then propelled my career, because I started to ask for much higher fees for marketing, fees for real estate, and that was the key at the time.
Wow. Okay. So now I was talking to you you do luxury, and you do as well. Is attracting a lot of investors in Brisbane now. Yeah. What do you see right now in the market in general in Brisbane? Now, I know you do kind of, you do more luxury, which is a different type of market. Now, to have a general picture in Brisbane, where do you see this market going at the moment before we move into the specific into luxury?
Okay, first of all, I want to say something to you. You can sell one house that is $1 million, or you can sell 3 houses that are 300,000 each.
Yeah.
I sell everything. That was my concept. That was my drive at the moment, and it's always going to be like that, because in the end of the day, the small unit and the massive mansion, they are both, or the penthouse, they are both at the same level, because in the end of the day, it's service. In the end of the day, it's negotiation, and that's what I love about this job. And in the end of the day, it's also like a compromise with yourself to keep servicing people. The service that you give people, the knowledge and actually the willingness to understand their point of view. So the reason why we know the market as the way that we do is because we talk to everybody, from the first homeowners to the high-end people, that then in the end of the day give us the chance to really gauge the value of a property, the and how it's the best way to sell it or to buy for a client.
Got it. So, you would you say that you don't really specialize in a specific area? You would go where the business is. Would you say that? Oh,
So once you start to and for some people it works, for some others it doesn't. But once you start to understand what you want to do, my thing at the time was projects and high end. That's always been my dream. That's always been my, like, I specialize in brand new and stuff like that. But one of my latest sales that we did in one of the suburbs over here was a Queenslander, renovated Queenslander.
yeah.
Now, what that did was, like, taught me about valuable lessons on selling another kind of like house. Having a niche market is amazing. You find your niche, but also specializing in having an objective where to specialize to. That's where most people struggle. But I believe that if you do find it and if you insist, that's the secret to be successful.
Nice. Okay. So now moving more a little bit to the, say, top end, what drove people to want to live in that area in suburbs? What's the main reason people want to go and live there?
One of the main reasons why people they don't want high end. They are basically living in the high end. One thing that I understood very, very quickly here in Australia is that you move upwards. You move, basically, you buy a place, you grow into it, and then you need something bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's rare that you have, of course, you have the downsizers, which are all the people that they, in the end of their careers, the house is too big, they want to find something, cash in and find something that is easy going.
Yeah.
But in any circumstances, in any circle of life, if you are in the luxury environment, you've always been in the luxury environment.
Yeah.
So everybody that comes along, basically they're looking for what makes them feel like they're upgrading. So so that's the kind of feeling that at the moment I am experiencing. And so it's not much about the money, it's about finding the perfect place. And that's where the difficult part of this job kicks in, because difficult means more they're looking for more details. They're looking for like the perfect spot, the perfect location, and that's when you start to learn a lot about it. Now, I always think that I'm the underdog. I'm still learning. I'm still understanding. I'm never gonna be. I never want to put myself in the mindset that I've learned everything. I know everything, and that's it. So I know what I'm doing. I know that I've got knowledge about it, but I still want to learn how to better service the client. Because in the end of the day, I believe that better service, better communication, better outcome.
Yeah. And what would you say is the most common house or apartment people are looking for? I'm talking about more into the high end.
Well, if you're looking for an apartment, beautiful views, and at least a 332, that seems to be the must. 4-bedroom is basically the wild card. As soon as you got one of those, it's going to go straight away. High end is also about location with views and the amenities around it. So, and that, I feel like it applies to everywhere in the world, in Australia, and then in Brisbane. I could mention you a lot of places, but for example, Kangaroo Point is one of those that is really, really, really considered in the hub, the Valley or Newstead. But the good thing about it is that if you do have amenities and you showcase them in your listing, and in your basically in the way that you portray the property, that's going to attract even further interest from the high-end market.
Now, would you say that, because I love your marketing, would you say that you attract most of your clients? I mean, of course, they go on the main website, but would you say having a quality social media presence, specifically for that type of market, backed by a good marketing, I love all your market, do you think would help? Do you get a lot of people that say like, oh, I've seen you on social media?
Social media is a key factor. Social media is where your persona, where your interests, where your hobby, where you as a professional could shine. There's two phases of social media. Most of the times you get judged and your professionalism gets put under the lens of like, someone watching from the outside, just because the things that you are doing, the successes that you are portraying are basically posted on a regular basis. What I say to people though is back it up with experience, back it up with expertise, back it up with something that can easily get bigger and bigger and better. So think outside the box. It's the easiest time of our lives to be what you want to be, because you don't have to rely on anybody else except yourself. And if you can then translate what you say you're going to do to what you actually do, the combination between reality and virtuality makes it a dream combo.
Yeah, that's gold. That's so gold. Okay. Hey, in your business, do you train and teach your people? Like, do you push that part of the business on social media? Like, I don't know, let's say you have an associate working with you. Do you train them from the start to leverage social media to increase the presence?
I think that should be like the rule, the base rule. You need to have like a social media if you want to be in this business, just because it gives you the social credits that you need to then be presented in a marketplace. What I mean by that is that before you had the agency backing you up, but now your name has to be synonym of exposure for the property, exposure for the brand himself, and also synonym of quality. None of that can be translated better unless you have a social media platform that reflects your professionalism, but also your, as I said before, your persona. I am obsessed with real estate. I am obsessed with marketing, and that shines through whatever I post. And of course, I'm obsessed with the community, for example. So I'm the president of the Italian radio here in Brisbane, and you had the chance to come and have
I loved it.
An interview. But it translates to me to the fact that I'm a real person that wants to put out there what's everything that is my passion. And once people understand that that's what I do, that's what I like, where then it becomes like they come part of my journey, and together we can achieve better results.
Mate, I know you mentioned a couple of suburbs where you mentioned about the luxury market. Is there any top performing street specifically, and if there is, why?
Well, there's a lot of top performing suburbs here in Brisbane. You have, for example, and they all vary. There's a variation in prices, but generally, if you are looking around 4 kilometers from CBD, then you are basically in the golden area. I also sell a lot in Highgate Hill, West End. You've got Paddington, you've got Hamilton, you've got Ascot, you've got Wilson, you got on that side, Morningside or Hawthorne, where I just sold another one at the moment. I'm selling also in Everton Park, an up and coming one. There's a lot of stuff going on the Corso, for example. Look,
Yeah.
Wollongabba, there's a lot of beautiful properties around. KP Kangaroo Point, for example, is one of the basically like the epicenter on this side of the river, and next to the Story Bridge, and that's where my team, for example, I work with one of the number one agents in Australia, which is like Simon Crawford. So, look, I believe that there's a lot of competition, a lot of also in between suburbs to make records. But I feel like overall, Brisbane is really taking that approach of being a number one city in Australia. And I feel like it's coming and is way, way past due.
What do you think about the Gold Coast market?
Gold Coast market is amazing. Like the Gold Coast, for any of you that had the chance to go there, it's one of those wonderlands. Like you literally have the perfect holiday. But I'm not even joking. Like it's one of those places where like holiday destination that is out of control, beautiful beaches, surface paradise, and all the way to Currumbin and almost to the border of New South Wales. It's a paradise. But Queensland in general, like if you are talking about like cities, the Sunshine Coast, Noosa, and all the beautiful beaches, then you go up north to Townsville, Bundaberg, Early Beach, the coral reef.
Nice.
So Cairns, like Queensland in general, is one of those states that gets it all. Like you have more than 5 cities that are like predominant in the Australian market, and then of course like the capital is Brisbane. But in the end of the day, like we can feel the push and the wish from the world to know more about this place, and that's why like it's getting like very exciting. Also because we've got the Olympic Games coming soon.
Yeah, nice. Okay, and I want to ask you regards the purchase price record, your personal one, if you don't mind me. The audience, they all want to get excited, want to know. Talk.
So I'll just say that when it starts to get into the multi-million-dollar range, that's where it starts to get interesting. I don't want to say too much, but I just listed a penthouse. Now, we are in the making of understanding if we're going to go live or not, if we don't sell it prior. But if we do sell it with a regular campaign, you probably got like a national
financial review. Yeah.
No, so have you ever heard of the Domain one?
Yeah.
So we should be putting that one with my name on the Domain magazine.
Oh, congratulations, man.
I don't know yet. We have. I don't want to say it. I don't want to. In Italy we say, "Don't say cat if you don't have it in the bag," which is like it doesn't gonna make any sense to anybody else. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what I mean. Hey, I know you mentioned prior marketing. So why, for people that don't know, real estate agents or choose to sell off market, or they decide to not put it on the market? What's the main reasons?
Okay, let's put it this way. So I'm selling an apartment now, which is in Dornoch Terrace. They are looking for $2 million, right?
Mm.
Now, before that, we had like some interest, and but the interest was lower than expected, like in the price range. And then there was another time during the off market campaign that then we started to have offers above the asking price. Sometimes it's just a matter of understanding if the owner wants to go with like a public campaign or a private campaign. I do suggest that the public campaign is always better, because not only you create a little bit of healthy competition for your vendor, but also you create a little bit of exposure for yourself. Because let's not forget that if we do utilize the tools that we are given, it's a good thing to then promote yourself and then put yourself in someone else's house. In the end of the day, you want to try to help as many people as possible. And I know that if you are in that position, if you get on a house that is $1 million,
yeah,
or an apartment or whatever, I know that there's other people with that same situation that want to have a help. They want to get help from you. So how do you do it? You promote yourself and then you help them as much as you can.
Hey, I love your marketing, and I saw your video on Instagram when you sell the property. So where do you get your ideas? I don't want to steal your ideas, don't get me wrong, but how do you get this creativity? I know you used to be a singer as well. I don't know.
So I actually start every time I walk into a property. I basically start to hear like a song, a famous song that comes to me, and then based on that one, I start to understand how can I do the video in a certain way. And then I've got a couple of videographers, 3 photographers, and we own the technology also to do the 3D walkthroughs. And that means that everything starts to make sense in my head, and then we prepare this amazing campaign, trying to understand who could be the end consumer. Because, if you have an elevator, then maybe we could target downsizers. But if we do have like a new development, can be like first-time owners. If it's a high-end house, maybe next to the hospital, maybe there's like professionals that work nearby the health sector. So there's always a meaning. Always try to find the meaning. Who is your buyer? And then reverse engineer your campaign based to who's your buyer, how would you do it differently? And of course, this is something that I always say to everybody, use taste. Taste is the key. I know that you want to be different. I know that you want to be like crazy and out there, but please, please, please do it tastefully, because that's going to preclude you to go from one level to the other. If you're not tasteful, it doesn't matter what you do. People are always going to remember you as the distasteful person. So use taste, even if it's like a $250,000 unit, make that $250,000 unit look like it's the best $250,000 unit that you could ever buy.
I love that. Put your taste on it. Love it. My last question before I let you go. So someone that want to start into real estate, and I know you went through different, I wouldn't say different markets, but you have quite a bit of experience. What's the main tips would you give to someone?
They're going to say no. You're going to door knock and nobody's going to answer to you. You're going to call and they're going to tell you to don't call anymore. They're going to tell you that you're going to start to see everybody else making millions of dollars or thousands of dollars. You're going to see that is difficult. You're going to see that the first year is going to be terrible and you're going to be tired and you're going to be crashed. What I'm saying to you is everybody's been through it. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. You are you. Don't get a no for an answer. And if you get a no for an answer, convince them or try to talk to them why they said no and make it better and over-service them. Try to help all your colleagues because your colleagues have more listings. You go there, you know more people, you hear them talking and learn. And the most important thing is networking. Networking has been the saving grace for me, because no matter how many people your mom and dad knows, no matter how many people you know, there's always way many more people that you will know just because you are a real estate agent, you know the market, and you are the best in the knowledge of that specific market, of a general market. Be prepared, be sharp, and of course, be respectful of the experience that if anybody else has it and advises, listen, and be grateful for the opportunity, because in the end of the day, we are privileged to be in this industry.
Mate, so good. Leonardo Di Pinto, grazie mille. Mate, thank you so much. I'm gonna put your Instagram link below, and for everybody, push the like button, subscribe. Leonardo Di Pinto, grazie mille. Ciao.
Ciao. Thank you so much.